This is my first chance to be outside today, so forgive the weird light that's coming through the trees. But I just wanted to talk about this for a moment. Your epigenetics matter more than all the other things that people are telling you. However, they're like light switches. All of those epigenetic factors are a light switch, and it can either be turned on or off. And depending on what kind of gene it is and what it does, depends on whether or not you want it to be turned on or off. In the case of something like MTHFR, MTR, MTRR, COMT, CBS, all of those, you want them to be turned on. But what happens when they're not? And here's another question. How do you know if they're not? One of the ways is in your red blood cell count. And we often talk about needing all of this special testing and the expense and the cost of it. But most of the time, you just need some comprehensive basic blood work, most of which you can get ordered at your annual exam. Between the red blood cell count, a white blood cell count differential, a full liver panel with an LDH and a GGT, your fasting glucose, fasting insulin, homocysteine, and a highly specific cardiac CRP, we can tell most of what's going on with you and what your genetics are probably going to look like. Add in the cholesterol panel, and we've got a pretty complete picture of you. You might want to throw in an ANA, because that would tell us whether or not your body's developing antibodies. And we for sure need a complete thyroid panel. TSH, free T4, total T4, free T3, total T3, reverse T3, TPO, and TBG antibodies. But that ANA would give us another indication as to whether or not you're producing antibodies against something, and whether or not your stained nuclei are producing something they shouldn't be, basically. There's another test called an MMA. Again, basic blood work here still. I'm not doing any special tests. The MMA actually tests the rate at which your body is methylating. But you didn't know that. But here's the thing. If you've been on a detox journey, it might be time for you to stop and nourish your cells. If you've done more than one parasite cleanse and you're still getting parasites out every single time, and it seems like an abundance, and especially if you've done one back to back to back to back to back, and you're not clearing the parasites, either you're doing it wrong, or those parasites are protecting you from something else. That could be a virus, it could be a heavy metal, it could be mold, it could be another environmental toxin that they're basically holding onto and ingesting so that your body is protected. And if you're not sure that you believe that, that's fine. Go look at the research data on what came back in the soil first after the earthquake in Japan and there was a nuclear waste spill. You don't want to go really look at the research data? Okay, I'll tell you. It was worms, parasites, and fungi of all kinds. And when they tested the mushrooms, their radiological contents were like sky high. And then when they started testing them 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, gradually over time, that decreased because those fungi go in and they grab that radioactive material and they pull it out of the soil. And so sometimes the fungus in your body is growing because something else is out of balance and it's protecting you. And sometimes that candidiasis is way overgrown because something else is not going right and it's protecting you from something else. And sometimes you can't clear Lyme or mold because you don't have enough cellular energy to do it. And it doesn't take a whole lot of special testing to figure this all out. It's all in the blood work. I'm going to be offering a class going through all of your blood work, so you can bring your blood work to the class if you want, on October 9th at 10 a.m. Denver time. And I will get that link in the sign up for you ASAP.